Everybody, welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in British Columbia, Canada. And you can find me online at stampingwithmelva.com. So today I want to show you how I made the card that I shared as part of the Festive Friday challenges. Now, so Festive Friday challenges, every 2 weeks we post a challenge. It's based on some festivity that's going on around the world. So this week, or this challenge, is about Chinese New Year. For each of these challenges, we're given a list of items from the inspiration list, and we're asked to choose at least 3 items from the inspiration list and to make a project. It can be a card, it can be a 3D project, it can be a scrapbook page for that matter. So it doesn't matter. And then we, as part of the design team, share our projects that go live every other Friday. And then we ask you to choose 3 items from the inspiration list and to share a project. And you can share that on Pinterest, you can share it on your blog, and then you share the link using a link off of the Festive Friday website. So make your card and then share your link, and we love to see all of the projects that are created. So this week for the inspiration list, it included things that are appropriate for Chinese New Year. So I chose, let's see, what did I choose? I chose red, gold, and embossing. I can't remember whether it was heat embossing or regular embossing, but my card has both. And so I've used the Ginkgo branch bundle, which is a new bundle from the Stampin' Up! Mini catalog that just came out as of January 5th. If you follow me at all, you'll know that, or you may know, I have a ginkgo leaf on my blog header. I love ginkgo leaves. I always have. And so when I saw this bundle, I knew I had to add it to my stash. It just is so appropriate. And the dies are amazing. So let me switch over to my desktop and I'll show you the card and then show you how I made it. It's pretty simple, actually. Okay, so this is the card that I shared as part of Festive Fridays. And so I've used gold because I've used the distressed gold specialty paper. I've done some heat embossing. I've also done some regular embossing with the new cane embossing folder. And then, of course, it's got gold because of this real red background card base, and then gold because of the ginkgo leaf and also the sequence. So pretty easy card, really. I mean, there's some die cutting, a little bit of heat embossing, and then on the inside, I just stamped on very vanilla one of the dies. A little bit of stamping on the background, just to give it some detail. Okay, so this is the Ginkgo branch bundle. Nice big stamp, some nice sentiments, perfect for all sorts of cards and projects. And then the dies, including this one that is my favorite, that cuts out this really detailed ginkgo leaf. This one cuts out this shape. And then, of course, we have one for this shape, one for this stamp set or stamped image, and then a really nice label that will cut out all of these, and then another detailed one. So I love this bundle. It is a rubber stamp, a cling mount rubber stamp. Okay, let's get started. Moving things out of the way. Okay, so first thing is I have a piece of real red cardstock that is cut 5.5 by 8.5. You can do it 4 1/4 by 11 and make it 10-fold, but mine is 5.5 by 8.5. So I'm scoring at 4 1/4. If you have used 4 1/4 by 11, you're going to score at 5.5. And as always, this is the side I scored on. So you're going to fold into the mountain or into the raised line. Still working with my broken wrist. My splint stays on for another couple of weeks, so it's getting much better, but I'm still looking a little wounded here. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to stamp in real red this really large ginkgo leaf, and we're just adding that to the card base just to give some detail. And I'm just going to kind of put it in the middle and over to the right-hand side because you're not going to see all of it. And I love how it's a bit, it looks like it's a distinctive stamp. I'm not sure that it is, but it's got, you can see maybe the darker and lighter, and that's in the variation on the stamp. Okay, then I've got a piece of real red that I've cut 2 inches by 5 1/4, and I've already embossed it using this new amazing cane embossing folder. This is part of the Sentimental Park or Regency Park. I can't remember the name of the suite in the new catalog. And I'm going to use liquid glue. I like to use liquid glue on the back of embossed cardstock. It just gets into the nooks and crannies. And so we're just going to do this, and we're going to put this over on the left-hand side of the card base over that stamped image. That's why I said if you stamp it over to the right side, because that's the part you're going to, for the most part, see. Okay, so now we're going to do some cutting. So we've got this big ginkgo leaf, and I just realized I need another piece of the distressed gold. So this is the distressed gold specialty paper. I love it. It's not as thick as the gold foil, and these dies cut beautifully out of this paper. Now I'm going to show you. So this amazing little beauty is the new Boho Blue Stampin' Cut and Emboss Mini, and it is available if you sign up as a demonstrator. That is available as one of the options. You can get one of these, you can get a white one, or you can choose not to get a Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. If you sign up as a demonstrator, I would love to have you on my team. And this is one of the options. This is Boho Blue is a, sorry, this is where I struggle a little bit with cutting. Let's see if I can get it to go through. Boho Blue is one of the new in colors that is coming out in the upcoming annual catalog. So it's kind of exciting. So let me see if I can show you. So this Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine works just like the regular size ones. This is going to make a loud noise here, sorry, as it snaps together. So it looks like that. So isn't that pretty? Just so pretty. I love this color. Okay, so I wanted to show you that. All right, so we've got our die cut. I'm just going to poke it out. So part of this is cut out, and part of it is kind of embossed, so they won't punch out. So I'm just using my take your pick tool to poke out the bits that will poke out. If you run it through actually a couple of times, like back and forth, you will find these bits come out. They may even just kind of pop out on their own. If you do it like I did and just run it through twice, you do tend to have to kind of poke them out. They're all cut through. They just need a little convincing to come out. There's some there, and there's one there, and one up there. Okay, there we go. I think I've got them all now. So what we're going to do is we're going to use mini dimensionals, and we're going to use those and put all our little bits. We're going to put on. You need the mini ones. Some of these leaves are quite small. Some are big enough for the regular size, and I'm just going to use a couple on them. But some of them will only fit one of the minis. So you're not gluing this whole thing down. You're just gluing parts of it down. Oops, let's see. I got a bit that still hasn't poked out. It's okay if you leave some of these in. There we go. Okay. So if you're like me who struggles with these mini dimensionals, I find the take your pick tool is a perfect tool. The piercing tool, the pokey tool as I call it, is perfect for not only getting these mini dimensionals off of the sheet, but also getting the backing off. Okay, so then this is just going to go in the center of the card. We're going to cover up the bottom when we do our sentiments. So I'm not really worried about this being kind of lifting up at all. Okay, so there's kind of the base of our card. The last thing we want to do is we're going to stamp our sentiments. So I've got another piece of the distressed gold, and we're going to do some heat embossing on this. So I'm going to stamp using Versamark. I'm going to stamp the sentiment that says sending hope and peace. And we're going to stamp this down here at the bottom because I'm going to fussy cut this out. So you don't need a lot of space. Now, I tried to stamp this using the Memento Black, Tuxedo Black Memento ink, and it just didn't show up very well. So I find if you want a really crisp, solid image, use black embossing powder. You will get a really nice image just that you can actually really see. There we go. So I keep my embossing powder in a plastic container. I just find that it makes much less of a mess for me because, as I've said before, I'm quite a messy using embossing powder. So now we're going to take our heat tool, and just hold it over the powder until you see it go from kind of the dull matte finish to a shiny black, shiny image. And then you can start moving it. It doesn't take very long. I do find some of the embossing powders take longer than others to heat up. And I'm sure there's some chemical reason for that. The black one actually seems to heat up pretty well, and I think I've got it. So you can see, you get a really nice, crisp, sharp image. And we're just going to take, you can use the die if you wanted to, but what I did on my card, I just went and fussy cut around. If you follow me at all, you know that I tend to do a lot of fussy cutting of my sentiments. I'm not sure why, just kind of a habit I've gotten into. So I'm going rounding the edges and just kind of following around the letters. As always, when you're fussy cutting, if you steer, I'm struggling here with my hand, you steer with the hand that doesn't have the scissors in it. So you're kind of guiding the paper and not the scissors. You will have much better success at fussy cutting. At least I believe you will. Now we're going to use mini dimensionals on this as well, just because this is quite narrow and the regular size will be too big. So we're just going to put them along. I tend to use more dimensionals on sentiment pieces because I don't like them to sag in the middle or wobble. So I'm just kind of putting them across. And again, using my take your pick tool to get them off the sheet and then get the backings off. There we go. Now, as I said, we're going to put this kind of over top and hide the bottom of the branch on our ginkgo, kind of brinko branches, kind of holds it in place. And then the last thing for the front of the card is I'm using, these are the pastel adhesive backed pearl or sequins. These are also in the new mini catalog. I can't remember, I think they're part of the Country Lane Floral. They come in this blue, pink, and gold color. And you can see that I've used most of the gold. I'm going to have to get another package because I just love the gold. And I'm just going to take and put a couple of the, I think I used, let's see, we'll just put one large on each side and then put a small one down here. Just put two. I always put uneven or odd number of embellishments on my projects. There's some theory that it kind of takes your eye, kind of guides your eye around. So that's the front of the card. Pretty simple. I just love it. It's beautiful. So striking in the red and gold. Now I've got a piece of very vanilla, and it's cut 4 inches by 5 1/4. And I just managed to get got my finger in the ink. So let's just get a baby wipe and wipe my finger off before I get this all over my piece for the inside of my card. Okay, so I'm going to take and stamp this kind of double ginkgo leaf down here in the bottom right. I'm not going to put a sentiment in here, just it will leave me lots of room to write a note. But I'd like to stamp something in the, either stamp something or put some designer series paper or something on the inside of my cards. Just they look finished that way. Sometimes I don't, but most, oops, poop, almost put that upside down. That wouldn't have been good. Okay, there we go. So there's the inside of my card. So there we go. That is my card for Festive Fridays for this coming challenge for Chinese New Year. And again, I've used red, gold, and I can't remember, it was embossing, whether it was heat embossing or regular embossing. I have used both on my card. There are other things on the inspiration list. I think it's the year of the rabbit. I can't remember what else was on the inspiration list, but there are lots of things to choose from. So I hope you'll take part. It's fun, and post your projects that you've made and tell us what you've used from the inspiration list, and you might find that you're one of our top picks for the challenge. All right, everybody, thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that. If you have any questions, just leave a comment either under this video, or if you found your way out to my blog, because all of the written instructions and measurements are on my blog if you've missed any of them, and the link to my blog post is under this video. So if you've missed anything, head out there and you'll be able to find all of the details for the card. So you can either comment there and ask your question, or comment under this one. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and that way you'll get notified when I go live or when I post a video tutorial. All right, everybody, thanks for joining me today. Happy stamping. Bye.